Welcome to Hyper International Motorsports for round 3 around Silverstone this evening. We're going to be having a short qualifying sprint race and a full 50% race for us today. Of course, this is one of 3 rounds which are a sprint race. The next will be Portugal, and also there will be, quickly check the notes, the calendar once again. It will be also Qatar that will hold a sprint alongside, of course, Silverstone and Qatar. We are surely going to be in for an entertaining run around Silverstone, of course, where the first F1 race was held on the 13th of May in 1950, and it was won by Giuseppe Farina all the way back then. We're about to get underway. There is still more drivers that are going to be ready to join, but they will join during the qualifying session. So yeah, Silverstone, let's introduce you to the track then. 18 turns, 10 to the right and 8 to the left. It is a 5.891 kilometer or 3.66 mile circuit, and it has we're going to have 26 laps today, and the total race length will be 153.166 kilometres. We are surely going to be in for a good one. Of course, Lewis Hamilton has the most wins around this circuit with 8, the most on any circuit, tied, of course, with this weekend's race in Hungary. The lap record, a 1 minute 27.097 by Max Verstappen in 2020. We're going to be in for a good one today. Of course, short quali because of the sprint race. We do have enough drivers that we could have done a full quali, but we decided that because it is a sprint weekend, we will do a short qualifying followed by a sprint, which will then lead us onto the grid for the main race. So this qualifying isn't as important as future qualifyings and like last time out in Australia. But I will now run you through the championship standings. I'll run you through the top 10 in the championship as while we can, while quali is just about to start. So I'll quickly flip over to the drivers' standings. Bacon Soda is leading the way with 34 points. Fighter RRT Macca in second on 26 points, 8 points adrift. XPG Flame is in third on 18 points. So is Allied Squire, also with 18 points. Leon is on 16 points in 5th. Rocket Ryan in P6 on 15 points. Crispy Chicken is in P7 with 14 points. C in 8th on 12 points. Luigi in 12th on Luigi in 9th, on 12 points. And finally, rounding out that top 10 is Steppin' Pig on 10 points. And of course, last time out was a very eventful race, being won by Macca. So we are going to be in for another entertaining one today. Drivers are coming out of the pit lane to go on their first runs. Of course, it may say Q1 up in that top right. Top left, but we are only doing short qualifying. There will only be one session in this one, so every lap counts. C, of course, is having to serve a qualifying ban after a few incidents that happened in Australia, but we should be in for a very entertaining qualifying for now. So, of course, there'll be 16 drivers competing, with C retiring for his qualifying ban, but with 16 minutes on the clock, we have everything to play for. Of course, we still have the sprint race, which will set the grid for the main race. So that is something that we still have to look out for. These will not be the final positions for the main Grand Prix. So, as it will be the Mercedes of Epic who will be the first one round this magnificent circuit. So, through slow corner goes Epic to set up his lap, 6th gear. And now into the Vale chicane. Down to 3rd, he's got to set himself up nicely, try get a nice exit down the Hamilton straight. Not really the greatest of exits, maybe a bit hesitant on the power, but here we go. Down the main straight, and we're about to head into Abbey. Flat out, little right-hander. No real need to think about it too much. Now going into Village, the first braking zone of the lap. He goes a bit wide from the first apex, but then you're instantly going over to the right-hand side to then flick yourself in through the loop. Now through Aintree, another left-hand kink, which pretty much you don't think about. It's flat out. Just hit your apex and you are fine, which then leads down the Wellington Straight and into Brooklands, as now he does that very nicely, and into Luffield down to third gear, getting the car rotated. Oh, a bit of a slide for Epic as he goes maybe a bit of a wayward exit down through Woodcote and down the old pit straight and out into Cops Corner. Elects to stick it in 7th gear, which now leads us to Maggots and Beckett's. So Epic down to 7th gear through Maggots, down to 6th and 5th through Beckett's, and out onto Chapel. DRS open as we now head down the Hangar Straight. This leads to the final corners of the lap. So Epic, as he heads in to Stowe, down to 5th gear, nice apex there. Maybe could have used 6th gear to maybe just try and maximise the amount of speed he can get out the corner. Through the Vale Chicane, again, maybe a bit hesitant on the throttle and a bit wide through the second part, through Club and to the line. It's a 26.540 for PRL Epic on his first lap of the session. Who is next? It's Man Chazza and MSC Albany. Topples Epic's time. He goes to P1 for 1 minute 26.133. Let's go on board with IRT Plum as he's now heading down the Hangar Straight. He is a contender for pole. He is a favourite. Who Ward goes up to quickest now with a 25.798 in the Scuderia Ferrari. So now on board with Plum as he's heading into the Vale Chicane. Maka goes into P5. Not a real competitive lap time from him. Now into the Club Corner. This is what it's going to be between Plum and provisional pole, and it is a 1 minute 25.634 for Plum, and he puts his hats onto provisional pole position and onto the front row of the grid. We're now going to go on board with who is next on the lap. I think that was Ravi going round, but he's not set a competitive lap time so far. I think Maka might be on a lap. No, he's on intermediates. That's why his lap time wasn't competitive. Ravi just maybe invalidated his lap. We'll go on board with Oscu 15 as he's now heading through Maggots and Beckett's flat out 8th gear, down to 7th, down to 5th, a bit wide from the apex through Beckett's, but now DRS open for the McLaren as he now heads down the Hangar Straight. And this leads him into Stowe. Is he going to get a nice apex? Elects for 5th gear, just like Epic, but short shift up to 6th. And now we'll see, heading into the Vale Chicane. Nice first apex, maybe a bit wide mid-corner, which then leads into the second part. Through Club Corner, what would it be for Oscu? It's good enough for P2 and the front row provisionally, just behind IRT Plum by 41 thousandths of a second. That is very, very close between Plum and Oscu. That's Moosey going up into P8 for 1 minute 28.394. But of course, these lap times aren't where they're going to be on the grid for the main race. It's where they're going to be on the grid for the sprint. Ethan, I think he is just setting up a run. He just needs to be careful that he don't get anyone's way. But I think that's Ravi really the only one that he can really impede if Ravi even is on a lap. No, Ravi is not. So Ethan, okay to build up that ERS, but no, he's coming back into the pit lane and putting on a fresh set of boots for another run. Double Deck, Allied Squire, Bacon Soda, Stepping Pig, Hyper, and Ethan all not setting a lap time so far. So they're going to have to come out again in this session and set a lap time for this one. But this is where the track will be quite quiet. Not many drivers will be out on the circuit. So let's actually run you through the Constructors' Championship real quick. McLaren is on 39 points in P1, followed by AlphaTauri in second on 32 points. Haas in P3 on 26, followed by Ferrari in P4 on 22. Alpine in P5 also on 22 points. Mercedes and Alfa Romeo in P6 and P7 on 18 points each. Red Bull on 12 points, followed by Aston Martin on 6 points. And Williams have a total of 0 points so far this season. And it's not really going Albany or Madman Chaz's way so far in the first 2 rounds of this season in Australia and in China. So On board with Double Deck. No, he started. I think Ravi was starting a lap. Yes, he is, as he's now heading into Maggots and Beckett's. He's down on his first sector, but there will be time here because, of course, a 1:31.1. Not really a very competitive lap time so far. So now he's actually invalidated on the exit through Chapel. He's 3 tenths down on his original lap time, so the tyre's obviously not holding up. Hyper 1:36.3. I think he just backed off his lap. Stepping Pig now on a lap. Opening up DRS down the hanger straight. A 1:03.1, a very decent middle sector that is for the Aston Martin. As he's now heading down into Stowe. Down to 7th gear, actually. One of the higher gears we've seen, but it makes him understeer wide, and that's really compromised his line on the exit, which then leads him to Vale. This really has been a very poor final sector for Stepping Pig. Now through Club, maybe a bit too tight through there as well. Across the line, a 1:26.988 for Stepping Pig. Puts him up into P8 within that Aston Martin. PRO Epic now is on a lap time. He, of course, started off this session and he's on a 1:26.5. Is he up in the first sector? Yes, he is. By about 2.5 tenths of a second as he now heads through Brooklands, a bit wide from the apex, which will compromise his line through Lovefield. Will he lose the rear this time around? He does get a bit squirrely, but manages to keep the car on a straight line and not too bad of an exit. Now heading up into Copse Corner, down to 7th gear. Again, flat out. Actually, no, he gives it a little bit of a lift. Does Epic as he now heads into Maggots, down to 7th gear again, electing some different gears to everybody else through Maggots and Beckett's, but now on the exit through Chapel, DRS wide open for Epic. He's still up by nearly 3 tenths this time, but it won't be enough for him to improve up a position at the moment. Through Stowe, nice apex, elects 6th gear this time to just maximise his speed throughout the corner. Now into the Vale chicane, down to 3rd gear, get the rotation in nicely, and again just a bit wide on that second apex. Just about manages to keep it valid, but across the line he stays in P5. That's a 1:26.322, but just not being able to improve a position for Epic. Lost a bit of time in that final sector. What about Albany? He needs a good final sector here to promote himself up position. Will it be to the line? A 1:25.970. Again, not a positional improvement, but still, pretty decent lap time there from Albany to put him up into the P4. A very good chance for the sprint at the moment. Who is going to be next? I think it might actually be IRT Plum. He's up by 2 tenths of a second on his lap time. So what can he do as he now heads into the Vale chicane, which leads into Club Corner and the Hamilton Straight? 4th, 5th, 6th. What would it be at the line? It's a 1:25.356. A near 3 tenth improvement on his previous lap time. And he's managed to promote himself further up than Osku. Of course, now Osku's got a lot of time to gain in this middle and final sector. Really, really has to start pushing on his qualifying lap. Plum with a really, really nice lap to give him that breathing space against Osku. So through Copse, Osku goes down to 7th and then back up to 8th and now into Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. This is where Osku can find a lot of time and he can maybe get something done through this middle sector. DRS open. What would it be in the middle sector? He's up by 3 tenths of a second. This could really be close here. Could Osku pit Plum for provisional pole in this session? As they now head through Stowe, and that was Ethan going up into P6, and Maka goes up into P2. A 1:25.601. But what about Osku? Can he get provisional pole? Here he comes to the line. Just no, he can't. 1:25.387. Losing a bit of time in that final sector is Osku, and he just cannot get in front of Plum and pip that provisional pole away from him. 6 minutes left in this session, so not too long left, but still enough time to get back in the pit lane, put on a fresh set of boots, wait a minute, and then go back out again and try set a competitive lap time. Who is on a lap? Bacon Soda, of course, your championship leader, is on a lap here, so we'll see what he can do on this one. Of course, not set a lap time so far, so this really is a crucial lap to see if he can at least get a time on the board. A 1:03.7 in the middle sector, not really too great so far on this one. Now heading into Stowe, 6th gear. Some drivers elect for 5th, some elect for 6th. Maybe not using a lot of the exit, but he actually comes into the pit lane. Not happy with that lap, and he will leave it down to the final lap to try set a valid lap time. Sniper coming out of the pit lane. And just going to be cruising round on his outlap. Try to get some temperature in those tyres. Allied Squire is going to be starting a lap. So let's go on board with the Mercedes and have a hot lap of this British Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. Through turn 1, 8th gear, nicely done. Just going over that inside curb. Nice through farm and now into village. Want to clip that inside curb, just about keep away from the sausage curb on the inside apex. The same through the loop, then get the power down as quickly as you can to lead you down this long Wellington straight. Of course, now you go underneath the bridge and you're going to be all focused on Brooklands, on the braking point and the turning point. Oh, he's going a bit wide from the apex as Allied Squire. Maybe just going to be compromising his line through Luffield. But now, power down. This is going to be the fastest part of the lap. Through Woodcote and now into Copse. One of the fastest corners around here. Flat out. Actually, another little lift by Allied Squire through there, through Copse. Some drivers can do it flat out. Now through Maggots, Beckett and Chapel. Another very fast section of the track where, of course, in real life, the McLarens were very strong. A big slide there by Allied Squire. Another massive slide. He's just about managed to save it. But Allied Squire, that lap is totally ruined. And he surely will be coming into the pit lane. Some drivers are out already on the track, and this will surely be their final runs, the likes of Huward and Epic. So here we go. On board with Huward, of course, who set his lap time with his first run. I don't think he actually came out for the second runs again. So this is his final lap time here in the Ferrari. Excuse me, as we're now heading into village and now into the loop. Maybe a bit too tight on the loop, just taking a bit too much of that apex, clipping the sausage curb and really compromising his line through Aintree and down the Wellington straight. He is down by about 1/10.5, so it can still be saved through this middle sector. So now through Luffield, a bit of a wider line to some other drivers, tried to get as good of a run down this straight through Woodcote and the old pit straight into Copse. This is the real part of the lap where you need to try and keep it valid. Through Copse corner, he has done it nicely. Not used all the track though, which he possibly could have. So maybe losing a bit of time and just scrubbing off a bit of speed. So now, heading through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. 6th gear through Beckett's for Huward. Where is he on his lap? He's down by 1/10.5. Unless he has a mega, an absolutely monstrous final sector, Huward, I don't think is going to be able to get pole position here. No, he comes into the pit lane and I think he might just have enough time to come in and go back out again. Drivers now going to start coming out for their final runs of the session. Plum seems to be the first one on a lap. Epic's lap didn't go to plan, I don't think. He's now charging up his battery again. So Epic will be leading the final runs, it seems. The question is, does he have enough fuel in the tank in that Mercedes to actually do another lap in this session? Here comes Plum though, I think, trying to maybe... No, he's just going to wait for Epic to start his lap. So Epic, that's a crawl here. He's actually letting Plum through. So Plum, your man on provisional pole, will take you on the first run of the final part of the qualifying. Here we go with the Haas, heading down the Hamilton straight up to 8th gear. Actually, no, he's going to elect to keep it in 7th gear, actually, as he heads through Village and Abbey. As now we go into, Farm and Abbey. Now we go through Village and into the loop. Nicely done through Village and the loop. Perfect apex for him there, which leads him a good run down the Wellington straight. And this can maybe be a purple first sector, the best first sector we've seen. No, he's actually down on his lap time through Brooklands, a bit wide from the apex, but doesn't compromise him too much through Luffield. Elects to keep it in 4th gear, putting the pedal to the metal, and here we go through Woodcote and into Copse corner. This is going to be absolutely crucial for Plum to keep it within track. Very sorry about that, everyone. I just accidentally unplugged my mic. But here we go. Plum leads from Bacon Soda. Who would? And here comes Osku into Abby. Will he be able to get the move done? Yes, he will. Oh, he's got a bit wide, though. That's going to allow Macca as well to get involved. There's a bit of contact between the Alpine and the McLaren. The Alpine's gone straight on. He's gone straight on down at Village. And that's allowed Ethan to get by. Oh, and he's spun round. Oh, he's going to cause a little bit of drama further back. There's 3 wide here through the loop. But it just seems that everyone managed to make it out unscathed. I say that. Oh, and C spins round. C getting a touch there, but I think Macca spinning him round. And that was absolute disaster there for C and Macca, especially Macca. He was up in P5. And yeah, all just sort of went downhill from there. Ethan 1.7 back from Osku. This top 4, sorry, really gonna be the battle we need to look out for. But Huward 1.1 seconds behind. So now Bacon Soda really needs to start putting the pressure on Plum as we're on lap 2 of 9 here. Everyone's managed to make it around the first 2 laps without retiring, but hit Ravi all over the back of C. Now head into down the Wellington straight. Oh my god, C's just forced Ravi onto the grass. There was no room left there by C. Absolutely dangerous driving there from Ferrari. No space given, no respect there between Ravi and C. And I'll expect Ravi will want to get past as soon as possible. Double deck going over the Sausage Curve Club. That's allowed both Albany and Macca through into Abbey just down the Hamilton straight. Oh no, that's double deck, really getting it all wrong through Abbey and into Farm. And unfortunately for him, he's dropping down more and more positions. Moosey has been passed by both the Mercedes as they're actually scrapping over P15. Here we go. Epic, I think, has to let back by Allied Squire, but Hyper Ignite and Madman Chaz are still going at it as they head through Luffield and Brooklands. The Williams starting to have to come back here at the Haas. The Haas did get by that time round on the outside through Brooklands, but now Madman Chazza will really need to find a response here. Lap 3 of 9, nearly half distance done already as we're heading in to Maggots and Beckett's on board with the Williams. Is he going to be able to get close enough to the Haas? But no, the Haas just so much quicker through that section of track. And Hyper starting to pull away from Madman Chaz's and probably going to try turn his attention to Stepping Pig. Osku 2.4 seconds down on Huward, so obviously something's happened to him in the McLaren. Just to double check with everyone, is the mic back okay? I did accidentally unplug it just a second ago, but if is the mic back okay? C actually now having another battle with Ravi. And again, no room left for Ravi through Vale as all C tried turning in. Does give him a bit of room that time around. And actually now Ravi gets a poor run down the Hamilton straight and now through Abbey. Gonna head through Farm as actually VLE Ethan's made a mistake. That's allowed Stepping Pig and Hyper to get by. He's now down to 7th place. Hyper spins from 6th. He hits the wall. Somehow he's not out of this race as he spins through Aintree. But Hyper, he had such a good little rhythm going on, but falls out of contention for the top 5 here due to him spinning out. VLE Ethan now needs to start trying to get that position back from Stepping Pig. He did pull a good gap to the Aston Martin, but just needs to try find that rhythm again. Try get past him once more. Both of them going extremely wide through Copse Corner. As they now head into Maggots and Beckett's. Of course, the sprint race nearly over. We're going to have 4 more laps once we start the next one. Plum has lost a bit of time to Bacon Soda. Down the Hangar straight and through the middle sector. It was about a second. It's now down to 9/10. Through the Vale chicane now they go. Bacon Soda really needs to start trying to push along here. No need to try keep his tyres in check because, of course, this race pretty much just a little sprint pretty much just a little shootout to the end. You said a little sprint now when it is a sprint. Here we go. Maka, is he going to get close enough for Sniper for a move into Abby? Sniper goes a bit wide from the apex. That's really going to affect his run into Village. But no, Maka just going to sit behind. There's Albany behind as well. So there could be a little bit of trouble between these two. There's a yellow flag for Allied Squire spinning around the Mercedes. Will Maka get a good enough run through the loop and Aintree to try and move on Sniper as they head down the Weddington Straight? Here we go. With Maka, is he going to be able to go to the inside? Yes, he is, into Brooklands. Sniper breaks later. Maka just can't get by. He might try hold it around the outside into Luffield. That might invite Albany for a move down the inside, but no. Just going to have to sit behind the pair and just have to think of another attack as now Plum brings out his gap to 1.1 seconds. Here comes Maka though, all over the back of Sniper once more as they head through Cobb's Corner. Maka picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that's not what he needs. He will fall behind Albany at this rate, so really needs to get past Sniper at the earliest opportunity. Who once made a mistake? Who once spun round? That's allowed Oscu to catch up about 2 seconds of lap time on the Ferrari. Maka needs to start getting past Sniper. I say that he is. He's going down the inside. Here comes Albany as well. Sniper being forced wide by Maka could allow Albany down the inside, which leads to the outside. Flame has just about joined the lobby in time for the main race, I think. Allied Squire, 3-second time penalty for him for going... Actually, no, I think that's from his spin, actually. So, bit of an unfair penalty for him. Sniper being forced wide by Albany. He forced Albany onto the curb, and Sniper... Safety car. We have a safety car on lap 5 here due to Allied Squire making a mistake, spinning round, and I think hitting the wall there. So now, this allows the likes of Bacon Soda to get back to Plum, who would as well, who made that mistake earlier on, to all catch back up. We're in the battle there between Albany and Sniper. Albany does get ahead of Maka as well, actually. Unless Maka had an illegal overtake or something there. But he's actually dropped behind both Sniper and Albany in this one. So safety car being deployed. This now allows drivers... Actually, there's something I've not put on any telemetry. That is on me. Again, it's just because I'm not prepared for the starts, because it just randomly starts it from my point of view. Of course, everyone on the intermediates. And this really doesn't help Maka at all, actually. This could drop him out of the points. We're going to get underway probably in the next lap. So, Allied Squire are going to really have to get round as fast as possible. But this does put Plum's lead in a bit of trouble. Bacon, if he gets a good start and can fight him down into Brooklands, we could certainly be in for an action-packed ending there. Sniper's actually made a mistake. He spun round. Maka's coming into the pit lane, actually. Weaving into the pit lane. And he gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding into the pit lane. Maka's retired from the session. Hyper gets penalty for speeding in the pit lane. The question is, why are they coming in? It's going to be in at the end of this race. At the end of this lap is the safety car. So, they could be shooting themselves in the foot here. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, the safety car should be in at the end of this lap. Ethan's still not got past Stepping Pig either for P5. We're going to be in for a thrilling dash to the end of the sprint race. Of course, this is the qualifying order. Of course, 8 points will be awarded to the winner, and top 8 will score points. So currently, Albany is your the last point scorer on track. Hello, Flame. You've joined the session. I don't know if you'll be able to be in the main race. I think you might be. Safety car is in at the end of this lap, so everyone who's boxed has really cost themselves here. They won't be able to get round in time, and I think there might be a limiter on their cars. There is. So those drivers will not be able to catch up, so we've got 11 cars battling it out for the win. Will Plum be able to hold on here in Silverstone, or will Bacon take pole position and the 8 points? Sniper gets a 5-second time penalty for a collision with Albany. Somehow he's done that, even though he's behind Double Deck as well. The question is, when will Plum go, and will Bacon Soda be caught out? Here goes Plum, Bacon Soda with a huge slide as he puts the power down. Plum, 5 tenths, now 6 tenths in the lead, and maybe might just be able to hold on to this thing as we're about to have 2 laps to go in this one. Bacon Soda now. Is he going to be able to get close enough to Plum? They're going to be using all their ERS possible. Leon's made a mistake. He's now dropped behind Moosey. So on board with Bacon as they head into Village. We've got Stepping Pig behind Oscar as well. He might try to look out for a move. Oscar defends the inside. It's going to really compromise his line into the loop. Oh, it comes over on Stepping Pig. Caused a little bit of contact there, but nothing should really damage the car in that situation. Bacon Soda versus Plum as they now head down the Wellington Straight and into Brooklands for the penultimate time in this race. Now, Plum just needs to hold on. He needs good lines, just can't crumble under the pressure here. And he's pole position. The pole position will be he. Sector 3 yellow flag. That is for Allied Squire. He's crashed into the pit lane. What about Stepping Pig? Is he going to be close enough for a move in on Oscu? But here comes Ethan. Really with that overspeed into Cops, just backs out of it. Knows that if he went for a move, that could have ended in disaster for him. So on board with the Red Bull, is he going to be able to make the move on the Aston Martin at any point during this part of the lap? Madman Chazza picks up a 3-second time penalty. That could drop him out of the points as well. So now, Ethan going to be trying to get closer down the hangar straight. Here comes Bacon Soda on Plum. Plum manages to defend the inside and stop the switchback by parking it on the apex. Bacon Soda now going to be trying at every opportunity to get past on this final lap of the race. 3.66 miles of track to get by the Haas. Here we go. Now through Abbey and into Farm. This is going to be where he has to set it up if he wants to go for a move into Village. No, just sits behind the Haas and will then go through the loop. Try gets a good run onto the Wellington Straight. Through Aintree as well. Stepping Pig goes for a move on Oscu. He's got a move done. Oscu's gone wide. He's hit Ethan. And it's now fallen behind Albany as well. Hyper Ignite. Gonna go down the inside maybe. He's managed to catch up from when he boxed. What about Bacon Soda? He's going side by side with Plum as they head through Lovefield. Is he going to be able to get the move done? No. Just not going to be able to get it done through Lovefield. But gets the run into Woodcote. He's going to be on the inside into Cops. He's got to keep it in there if he wants to win this race. But no. Plum just has that bit more overspeed and pulls out ahead. Oscu gets past Madman Chazas. No, they're going side by side into Cops. Madman Chazas holds it round the outside. Is he going to be able to get the move done? Hyper as well now trying to come in with his fresh intermediates. He's falls onto the grass. Hyper just about gets by on Madman Chazas using the grass to try and get the move done, and he has. And here he comes to Oscar. It's a huge slide for him. What about Bacon Soda versus Plum? Bacon needs to send it into the Vale chicane if he wants any chance of getting pole position. But no, he just elects to stay behind. Plum's gone wide actually. This could allow him through. Hyper Ignite gets another 3-second time penalty. Will he be able to get past Oscu? He's tried it round the outside. Oscu's defended the inside. Plum gets the win of the sprint race and all 8 points. Hyper spins it across the line. Where does he end up? P11. A Double Deck gets your final point of the race. Wow, brilliant sprint race there by our Tier 1 drivers in Hyper International Motorsport. Plum will be on pole position for the main race, followed by Bacon Soda. Them two swap places. Who Ward in third, had a really good start to the race and just kept it in that position. Stepping Pig managed to make up quite a few places, but that is the end of your sprint. A nightmare for Oscu on that final lap, dropping behind Stepping Pig and just kept falling back from there. So, your order for the British Grand Prix sprint race. Flame has the FF glitch. Force feedback glitch. So, your order for today's sprint race is IRT Plum winning it from Bacon Soda in second, Whoward in third, followed by Stepping Pig in fourth, and Ethan in fifth. Oscu down to sixth place from third, only picking up 3 points in that one, and he could have picked up a total of 5. Albany in 7th, and Double Deck rounds out your points paying position in 8th. Ravi in 9th, followed by Madman Chaz in 10th, C in 11th, Hyper Ignite 12th, Sniper 13th, 14th Epic, Leon in 15th, Moosey in 16th, and your non-finishers are Allied Square and Macca, and Pig made up 10 places for that one. He went from 14th to 4th, but we're now heading in to the race. This is where it all really matters. Of course, you do get some points from the sprint, but this is where the big points come into play. In the main race, is it raining? No, it's going to be dry. It's completely different conditions to last time out in the sprint. A bit like the real life weather, where it was a bit wet in qualifying and then it was dry throughout the race. So it's going to be an entertaining one to see who will prevail in these conditions. Of course, Plum got Puddle for this one, followed by Bacon Soda in second, Whoward third, Stepping Pig. Can he continue his progress through the field and maybe try put it onto the podium? Of course, we got 26 laps of this British Grand Prix circuit. It's going to be a very entertaining one. Of course, an old army base, and where the first F1 race was held all the way back in 1950. Of course, this isn't the only sprint race that we have this season. We also have one at Qatar and Portugal, rounds 9 and 14. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 5 red lights are on, and we're on the way here in Silverstone. Plum gets a good start, but what about Bacon Soda? He's got another good start. Oh, there's a big crash. Epic into the wall off the start. That could cause a safety car. It hasn't so far. Bacon Soda's got ahead, and Stepping Pig's got a 5-second time putting for a collision with Ethan. Ethan's dropped down to 7th, but I think we do have a safety car now. It's not showed up on the screen, but Epic with a big crash off the line, just dropping it into the wall. And Bacon Soda with another good start off the line and brings his Alpine up into P1. Plum will come in second place, Whoward in third. It's a VSC, sorry, not a full-blown safety car. Flame did make it in the Alfa Romeo. He's in 17th place. So, of course, with Epic crashing, he's got past Macca as well. But it's a virtual safety car, so we could be back racing anytime soon. DRS will be still enabled on lap 3 due to this. So, we can treat this as just a little bit of a formation lap this time around. So, Bacon Soda will need to get a good virtual safety car restart here to stop Plum from having an attack down the hangar straight. It looks like we're about to go back underway very, very shortly. Going to be close. I think Safe VSC is ending now. Plum is going to be alongside Bacon Soda. We go green here in Silverstone. And Plum trying to go around the outside of Bacon Soda into Stowe. Can't get the move done. Here comes Whoward round the outside into the Vale chicane. Is he going to be able to get the move done in the second part of the corner? He's now going to try and focus his attention on Club, but Plum manages to get the traction and get the drive out of the corner. And Bacon Soda moves himself, keeps in P1. Plum manages to stay in P2, but Whoward's in third place. Tried the move on the Haas, just wasn't successful with it. Oscu down the inside of Stepping Pig. That was very, I think it actually made a bit of contact there with front wing to rear right. But here comes Plum. Will he be able to do it again? Let's get everything up once more. Here comes Plum though. Is he going to try it into Brooklands this time? No, he's just going to sit back once again. Oscar and Ethan, the only 2 cars on the hard compound tyre in this one. So look out for them on their alternate strategy. Plum versus Bacon Soda. This is the battle for the lead. Already on lap 2, of 26, we could have a switch for the lead one more time. Bacon Soda got kind of lucky last time around that he didn't have to defend for longer, because lap 1 That is where mostly the changes for the lead happen. But here we go. Plum might get the run here, down the hangar straight and into Stowe. Here he comes in the slipstream. Is he going to be close enough to Bacon Soda? No, he's just going to sit behind. Bacon Soda's got a bit wide from the apex. Oscu's got past Stepping Pig though, and he maybe is up into P4. Yes, he is, but will Stepping Pig try to fight it into the Vale Chicane? No, just sits back, and the McLaren on those hards seeming to be working pretty well, a bit like how it was in real life in the hands of Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. But Plum really is starting to put that pressure on Bacon Soda as they head into Village. Is he going to get close enough for a move? No, but DRS is enabled, so surely you would think he would breeze past going down into Brooklands and down the Wellington Straight. So here we go with the Haas down the Wellington Straight. Bacon Soda's gone defensive. He's used a bit of ERS, but will Plum go for a move? No, just sits behind one more time. This could maybe allow Huward to maybe try think of a move and just try keep it clean and then go for it. There's a fight further back between C and Hyperignite. Round the outside goes to Ferrari. On the Haas, is he going to be able to get the move done? No. The Haas just with bad traction. There's contact though between Allied Squire and C. C just not seeing the McLaren. Oh! They've turned each other into the wall. C just coming across on the Mercedes. And we've brought out the full course safety car. C turning across on Allied Squire, putting them both into the wall. Debris all over the circuit. Okay, we have a safety car here in Silverstone on lap 3 of 26. Bacon Soda with another lifeline there. I reckon Plum could have got by down the the hangar straight. But I do not know what C was thinking there, just to turn into him and put it in the wall. But we might see some cars coming into the pit lane. We do. We see Madman Chazza coming in. We see Allied Squire coming into the pit lane. We'll of course see C into the pit lane as well for his front wing damage. Sniper stays out in this one. Ethan though, having a very, very decent start here in Silverstone, but the person with probably the best start you would think of is Bacon Soda, getting ahead of Plum on the line and just being able to hold on to that lead for now. Yes, he's had a virtual safety car and now this safety car to help him, but he still did 2 laps of defending against the Haas, and it seemed to have paid off so far. Of course, Oscar and Ethan on those alternate strategies, they will box later on and go on to the medium, so they are definitely a threat for the end of the race. Someone who's paid up quite a few positions is Flame. Let's actually have a look at your biggest winners and losers of this race so far. Actually, Ethan also got a 5-second time penalty for the collision with Stepping Pig in the first sector. So your biggest winner so far is XPG Flame, up 7. Bacon Soda, of course, up 1. Oscu up 2. Hyperignite up 3. Leon up 4. Flame, of course, up 7. Maka up 4. Lucy up 1. Your biggest loser is C, down 7 places. Madman Chazza also down 6, but of course he did come in for a set of the hard compound tyres. Hard compound tyres on Shaz's car. So, as we're just going to be behind the safety car for an extra lap. Of course, it has to do 1 lap. So we'll have to wait and see. So we're going to have to wait. See what happens. And then Bacon Soda really needs to start pulling it out of the bag on the safety car restart. Needs to put a lot more pace in that thing. Flame gets a 5-second turn penalty for a collision with Leon. Stepping Pig said I should not have got a pen for that. I think it was just contact between you two through turn 1, and of course VSC was brought out, so of course the game thought, oh yeah, you've collided under the safety car. But of course these cars are better at following on this game. Dirty Air really has been removed, so it's going to be harder for people to break away from each other, and really just got to be DRS trained throughout, and more moves will be made in this one. But Epic's confidence will be hurt by this. I think that's 2 races in a row he has retired from. He retired last time out as well under the safety car that time around. So he's had 2 quite embarrassing incidents. I think Leon might have hit him though on the race start trying to make some moves, and that what sent him into the inside wall. But of course last time out in Australia he was leading the safety car restart, didn't even make it to the start finish line before he crashed out after dropping the rear heading through turn 11. No, turn 12, sorry. Bacon Soda probably trying not to do the same thing. Of course, he is your championship leader here by 8 points, I want to say. Check standings once more. Yeah, by 8 points over RRT Macca. And good news for Bacon Soda. Macca is down in 14th place. So he's scoring some big points over some championship rivals. Same with XPG Flame and Allied Squire. The highest competitor he has in the top 5 is Leon in 11th. The safety car will be in at the end of this lap. Now not even made it 100 meters in the... Yeah, so Leon hit Epic there into down the main straight, trying to make some moves off the opening lap and on the start, but didn't realise the Mercedes was there and just completely wiped him out and into the wall. So expect an investigation for that. There has been some changes, but nothing to the top 3 of last time out. Bacon Soda has gone. He's gone quite early here. Not really caught Plum lacking either. 3 attempts is the gap between him and Bacon Soda as they now head down into turn 1 once more. Who was dropped about half a second back, but will Plum go for the move on Bacon Soda into Village? Yes, he will. He's looked at it. Bacon Soda goes defensive. It's really caused Plum to have to really stop the car there to stop to avoid him. Ethan's got past Stepping Pig for P5. He's now with Oscar on the hard tyre strategy. Both of them together. Now here comes Plum. Is he going to be able to get past the Alpine? He's looked to the inside. He's tried dummying the Alpine, but here comes Huward. Will he try a move on the Haas? But no, she's going to sit behind him one more time. Hyper Ignite and Double Deck. Hyper Ignite getting the move done on the inside. A brilliant honest contact between Double Deck and Neglion. What about Ravi? Ravi's got through there. Flame's got past Leon as well. Can he get past Double Deck too? That is the question. On board with the Alfa Romeo. Ethan's picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Flame's gone wide at Cox. He's had a huge slide through there. But now, Flame heading into Maggots and Beckett's. He's gone for the outside line through Beckett's, but that's not going to work out in his favour. This could allow Leon to maybe try and catch up to him. But here comes Plum to the inside on Bacon Soda. Is he going to be able to get the move done? Oh, there's a bit of contact, I think, and it's caused Bacon Soda to go a bit wide. Bacon will probably try to fight it into the Val Chicane. No, he just sits back again. And Plum now takes the lead of this one. Ethan now going side by side with Stepping Pig into the Val Chicane. He's got that move done. Double Deck and Flame, they're all kicking off at the back here. As Bacon Soda must have made a mistake on the Exeter Club, because now Huward's got through into P2, and Huward's got to try keep that P2 with everything he possibly can in that Ferrari. Because now Bacon Soda making that mistake has cost him big time, because now Huward's 9 tenths off Plum, make that a second. Plum is out of DRS range, so if Bacon Soda didn't make that mistake, as here comes Huward. Defending the inside line from Bacon Soda. Bacon going around the outside through Brooklands, which then leads him to the inside through Luffield. He's forced Huward wide. This could allow him to get a good run. He's had a huge slide though, as they now head through Woodcote and onto the old main pit straight. As now, Bacon Soda just about gets ahead there of Huward. Huward now making the mistake through Cops. This could allow Oscar to try and get the move. Stepping Pig gets a 3-second time penalty as well, so both him and Ethan now on 8 seconds of penalties, but they might get their first sets removed. Actually no, they'll probably serve it, so probably will not get those 5-second time penalties removed. Here comes Oscar though on the Ferrari. McLaren versus Ferrari into Stowe. McLaren on the outside, Ferrari on the inside. The Ferrari defends ferociously And there's a bit of contact. Osku gets forced wide, but here he goes down the inside into the Vale chicane. Huward tries to hold it, but no. Osku gets by in his McLaren, and those hard tyres are really starting to work well for him. And now his eyes will be focused on Bacon Soda up in front in P2. Stepping Pig getting past Ethan. They go side by side into Abby. Stepping Pig's been hit by Albany. He's spinning off into the gravel and down the order he goes. A bit of contact between him and Albany. I don't think Albany was expecting him to go so slow through Abby. And it's caused rear right to front right. Rear right to front left contact. Oh, and that's C nearly going round there. And the Ferrari double deck's gone round though. In the Red Bull, everyone's starting to spin. He gets back on the track nicely though. Keeps out of the way of Stepping Pig just to make sure no contact is made. But now, on board with Osku as he keeps his hunt for Bacon Soda on. Oh, Bacon Soda going a bit wide through Cops. This could allow the McLaren to hunt his prey a bit more. Of course, Alpine and McLaren, big rivals in real life with the car development scheme and also for places in the Constructors' Championship. So now, the Alpine versus the McLaren. Here we go. DRS open for Osku. To the inside he goes. Bacon tries defending it, but sees that there was not enough time to come over. Osku manages to get the move done. And that's another one ticked off his list. As now Albany trying to fight it around the outside of Ethan as they're now heading down into the Vale. The outside becomes the inside, which then becomes the outside again. Ethan goes late on the brakes. He will try force Albany wide to try not get a good run of possible. Oh, and Ethan slids all over the road. He's forced Hyper wide. A bit reminiscent of Albon and Kevin Magnussen back in 2020 when Albon punted Magnussen off the track. But Hyper manages to keep it within in a straight line and manages to keep the car going on that gravel and actually tried still going for the move into Abbey. He's had a huge slide though through the loop, and this could allow the man who started last, XPG Flame, to try have a move into Brooklands, but no, he's just going to have to sit behind. What about through Luffield? No, again, just sitting behind Osku though, getting put under a lot of pressure by Bacon Soda. IRT Plum, 2.8 seconds out in the lead, so a very good lead for him so far as well, lap 9 of 26. So now heading through Maggots and Beckett's. XPG Flame picks up a 3-second time penalty. That was probably through Cop's corner. Now Flame all over the back of Hyper Ignite. Gonna maybe try to get the move. He's got brilliant traction out of Beckett's. Oh, through Chapel. He nearly has a slide with DRS open. He's got the ERS advantage. He goes to the inside line of the Haas. The Alfa Romeo down the inside. The Haas tries to hold it around the outside though. Hyper to the inside through Vale. Is the Alfa Romeo going to keep it in there and get ahead? Round the outside he goes, and Flame moves himself up into P7. Hyper's still there on the inside though as they head through Club, but the tighter line will not work, and Flame up into P7, but Hyper could still have an attack here into Village Corner. Will he still go for the move? Flame goes a bit defensive, parks his car in the middle of the road, makes sure nothing can happen there, but back on board with the fight for P2. Of course, Oscar on a different strategy, really doesn't need to fight this one. Bacon Soda to the inside. Oscar's got no ERS left compared to Bacon. He's got down the inside, Bacon. He's gone wide though through Luffield. He's had to sort of back off the throttle to make sure he's not got a warning there for track limits. Oscar round the outside. Is he going to be able to get the move done? It's a spectacular move by the McLaren round the outside through Luffield. As now, here we go, side by side through Cops. There's a bit of contact made. Bacon Soda's forced wide. This can allow Huward to capitalise on this one, and he has. The Ferrari now up into P3, and the Alpine falling down a place, being a bit too optimistic into Cops. There's a bit of contact as well through Beckett's between the Ferrari and the Alpine. But will the Ferrari be able to get past the McLaren? Here comes Huward down the straight. Gets past with ease. No real challenge for Huward with that one. That's also Bacon Soda trying to get by. There's a bit of a wide moment for him. But Osku actually going very deep into Vale. This could allow Bacon Soda down the inside into Club. There's a bit of contact. They both keep it within track limits. As now here comes Osku. Will he try it around the outside? No. Just going to sit behind Bacon Soda. But he's lost 2 places there in the space of about 2 corners. So now he needs to find those places, the pace back that he had when his tyres were in good condition. Of course, those mediums will be in worse condition to their hards because, of course, they are a softer compound. They will wear off easier, but will Bacon Soda be able to get close enough to Huward into Brooklyn's? No, just going to have to sit behind again for another lap. We've got Ethan versus Flame, though. Two friends off track. We can maybe see these two come into a little bit of a war over 6th place. Both of them have penalties. Let's have a look at the penalties. Ethan with a slide, 11 seconds for Ethan, 8 seconds for Flame. But will Ethan be able to hold on against the Alfa Romeo as they're heading through Copse Corner? Yes, he will, but he goes wide. That's going to allow the Alfa Romeo. Oh, and Ethan spins. Ethan spins. He's been across. Oh, he hits Hyper. Hyper is out. That's a big crash. Virtual safety car is deployed. Ethan gets a 5-second time penalty for it. That is a huge incident for Hyper Ignite. Ethan spinning across the track, tries stopping the car, but nothing can be done there, and Ethan goes straight into the Haas. There was nowhere for Hyper to go, and that causes Ethan to get some front wing damage, and Hyper is out of this race. Albany gets 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Everyone coming into the pit lane, it seems, probably for a set of hards, unless your name is Osku, or if your name is Allied Squire. Ethan retires in the pit lane. He's picked up so many penalties, he doesn't want to continue anymore. There are some cars that have stayed out. Madman Chazza will now inherit the race lead, followed by Sniper GB, who's not coming for some reason. But Madman Chazza will lead us away on the green flag. C also stays out. Chazza and C might have done a very good strategy here. They might have done a strategic masterclass. Plum out in front of Huward, Bacon Soda as well out in front of Osku, but Osku now on those mediums can really start to put the pressure on everybody else and try and make his way up through the order as quickly as he possibly can. C trying to get past Sniper here. This is over the battle for P2. I don't get why Sniper didn't come in to put on some hards because he is not boxed yet. Osku getting past Bacon Soda with DRS down into Brooklands. Here comes Bacon Soda fighting back through Loughborough. They're side by side now on the exit. It's going to be Osku to the outside through Woodcote. He'll also be on the outside through Copse. Here we go. But Osku using the last bit of his ERS to pull ahead. Oh, and that's Bacon Soda trying to fight it down the inside. He might even try a move down into Maggots and Beckett's, but no, he's just going to have to sit behind the McLaren one more time. There's a spin there. That's for C. C is spun round, maybe contact with Sniper. But he has fallen down the order now on his hards. Of course, he'll go to the end of the race. But C, not what he would have wanted to see. Bacon Soda and Osku having a little bit of a battle here again. Bacon Soda just not being able to get by. Of course, he did have the DRS down that hanger straight. Sniper versus Madman Chazza. Will Sniper be able to get the move done on these so much more older mediums? Oh, he's gone wide though through Abbey and into Farm. And he's really not been able to get a move done into Village. Through the loop now they go. And yeah, I don't think Sniper's going to get close enough to Madman Chazza to get a move. But look how much Plum has caught up to them. He was about 7 seconds behind at the start of last lap. As here comes Sniper down the inside of Chazza. Again, move just not being able to be made. Of course, Williams haven't scored points this season. Albany being in the points as well, really going to help their case. So now, Sniper GB heading through Copse behind the Williams. The Haas is also coming into play. He needs to be careful here though, Plum, just to make sure he gets out of this unscathed. So now head through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel for the 13th time in this race. Plum all over the back of Sniper. He really needs to be careful. Chazza, he just about leaves him enough room versus Plum. Here comes Sniper as well on the Williams round the outside. Will the Williams be able to hold on? No. Sniper just being able to keep his brake later and get down the inside. Plum though now going to start putting away, and this now allows Huward to try get past these two guys fighting without any drastic effects. Flame gets past Leon there into Stowe. Nicely done by the Alfa Romeo. Nicely done by the Alfa Romeo here as they now head On to lap 14 of 26. We'll see Madman Chazza try to get back by Sniper. As actually, Huward has gained a second already on Madman Chazza and Sniper in front of him. Osku just out of DRS down the Wellington straight. He's had a huge rear locking moment. I don't know if that was a bit of lag or he did have a bit of rear locking. Albany versus C. Albany's got past the Ferrari there in the Williams. He's promoting himself higher up the order, and this can maybe challenge Aston Martin in the constructors' standings with a good few points here for Albany if he's able to keep it this way and just keep the rest of his race clean. He goes, I say that, he then goes wide through Cop, so commentators curse everybody. Osku all over the back of Huward now. Is he going to be able to get close enough to get by the Ferrari? Tucked into the slipstream. The Ferrari defends the inside. Osku to the outside. Huward's not able to keep it in there on the brakes, but Osku does go wide. Huward now going to try switch it to the inside, which he has. Osku to the outside. There's contact made. Osku's turned in across Huward, and Osku now sent spinning down to 6th place. Picks up a 3-second time penalty to boot. He has to be annoyed with himself there. He cut across Huward, who was there on the apex, and is sent spinning round. Bacon Soda can now try and move here on. Who's that actually spun off? I think that is Ravi, who has spun off. He's actually beached himself in the gravel. He's reset the track. But there was a battle between Bacon Soda and Huward that's going on. Sniper and Madman Chazza. I don't know what's happened there for Sniper. But here comes Bacon Soda around the outside through Brooklyn's on Huward. But no, just not being able to get the move done. Switchback. Sniper's crashed. Sniper's crashed somewhere. That's brought out a safety car. He's took out Madman Chazza. He's straight line Madman Chazza. It's allowed Bacon Soda to get ahead of Chazza, but not Huward. I think the game audio's a bit buggy on the spectator side. Oh no, it's fine now, don't worry. So, Plum now, his lead of 7 seconds gets brought back down to 0. And does anyone on the hards actually come in for a set of mediums? That'll be interesting to see. Madman Chazza, of course, coming in. He probably has a bit of front wing damage to his car. Osku, though, is actually brought back into contention again. So, who comes into the pit lane? Chaz has come in. Has Flame come in? Yes, he has. He might go on to some medium compound tyres in this one. Sniper GB is our 4th retirement of the session. Of course, Ethan and Hyper making contact on turn 1. Not turn 1, through cops. Of course, that killed Hyper's race. And yeah, unlucky for Hyper. Yeah, epic. I see in Discord that you said, I think he straight lined someone. Yeah, I think Sniper just straight lined Chazza. I don't know why. There was a bit of a kerfuffle heading down the Wellington straight. I don't know what happened there. Flames got onto the softs. A lot of drivers boxing onto the soft compounder tyres. But yeah, he straight line. There was a bit of kerfuffle down the Wellington straight. I saw that Sniper nearly spun it pretty much, and I then see that there's a yellow flag, he's retired, and I see Chazza off the track as well. Question is really, is Bacon Soda going to be able to get back past Plum? Championship leader. 1 in China. was on his way to win in Australia, but then a massive crash happened at the final corner. Leon's coming to the pit lane, actually. Who else is coming to the pit lane? Let's see. Flame will be promoted up into 9th place because of this. Madman Chazza in 7th on his softs. He can maybe cause a little bit of an upset here. Stepping Pig in 8th. He's not really had the best of runs in this race so far. But again, the closest driver to Bacon Soda, and he's going to extend his lead at the top no matter what in this race. Is going, actually, yeah, he will extend his lead. The closest is Flame, but of course if Plum does win this race, he'll get maximum points through the sprint, 8 points on top of 25, so that'll be 33 points in this one so far. Bacon Soda doesn't score, 1 point between them, heading in to next week's race at Baku. So, under the safety car, this is probably going to hopefully be the last safety car intervention for this race. Silverstone has brought us a brilliant set of racing over the sprint and the main race. So, the question is, who will get the victory here? Will Bacon Soda be able to get close enough to Plum? Of course, he made that mistake last time he was behind Plum, which allowed Ward through, and that allowed Plum to really build out that lead. Alpine, of course, led by Bacon Soda. Talking about the constructors, the safety car isn't in at the end of this lap. Still waiting for some drivers. It could be in at the end of this lap. Alpine, of course, in a battle with Ferrari in the standings. So they're equal on points here. And at the moment, it does seem like Alpine is just getting the upper hand in this one. Is the safety car going to be a late call? No. Just going to stay out for another lap. McLaren with Oscar and Leon, they're just about going to have their championship lead intact, because where is the highest AlphaTauri? That's Moosey. Stepping Pig, I think, is coming into the pit lane. No. Leon's come back into the pit lane again. Maybe onto another fresh set of softs. So, everyone stays where they are. Just a bit of confusion there between all that. So, out the closest challenger to McLaren that is in scoring points territory is Haas. They're scoring 26 points at the moment. Actually, no, 34 points at the moment. Oscar, on the other hand, only scoring a total of 15. And there is a 13-point gap. So at the moment, Haas seems to be set to take the Constructors' standings lead. Of course, next time out will be in Baku. That'll be a very entertaining one on the streets of Azerbaijan. Of course, one of the highest elevated circuits on the calendar. Also got the longest main straight. Please put pen details on, says Flame. Yeah, actually a good time to show that. Oscar on 3 after that spin that happened. If he doesn't get another warning, he could get that removed at the end. Albany on 5, followed by Chazza on 6, Stepping Pig on 3, Flame also on 3, C on 10, Double Deck on 3, C on 10, sorry, C's in P10. That was on there. Double Deck on 3 and Ravi on 3. Yeah, I'm very sorry, C. Didn't mean to say that you got 10 seconds, but safety car is going to be in at the end of this lap. When will Plum go? Is the question. Oscar needs to make an impact with these hard medium compound tyres, or his race could be run. Haas leading away, followed by Alpine, then Ferrari. When does Plum go? Bacon Soda needs to be close to Plum, so when Plum does go, he can be right on Plum's tail. Plum last time went on the exit of Stowe. Is he going to do the same thing? Yes, he is, and he's caught Bacon Soda napping and really has pulled out a big bit of a lead on this safety car restart. Yes, it's only half a second, but for a safety car restart, that is huge. That can be the difference between winning the race and coming second in this one. So now, heading through Abbey and into Farm on lap 19 of 26. So we've got about eight laps to go here in Silverstone. XPG Flame gets past Stepping Pig. He's down the inside of the Aston Martin and gets the move done. Madman Chazza might be able to get a move done on Allied Squire here. Oscar versus Hoowood as they head down into Brooklands. Is the McLaren going to get by? It's to the inside for Luffields. The Ferrari going to try and hold it around the outside. Oscar gets ahead though. Is he going to be able to get a good enough run on the exit? He's got a bit loose. This going to allow Hoowood to try and make the move. Madman Chazza gets ahead of Allied Squire in the Williams. And now is up into P6 through Cops. Flame gets by as well on Allied Squire. We saw that on the back end of following Madman Chazza. We saw that in the camera. Oh, Oscar's sent spinning around again. Oh, and he's taken out Double Deck. Big crash. Oscar tried rejoining the track, takes out Double Deck. There's a Madman Chazza versus Flame as well. Who was? Albany's onto the podium. The battle for the podium is massive at this moment in time. Sorry about the game. That is awful. I might have to turn game sound off in the stream. And they say this game's esports ready. Here comes Flame to the outside. Oh, to the inside now of Hoowood. He's on the soft compound tyres. Is he going to get the move done? Yes, he is. Yeah, I think I've got... Is this the same on the stream as what I'm hearing? There's a yellow flag. That's for Hoowood. Hoowood's been spun round. Madman Chazza and him have collided. Madman Chazza's off as well. He's retired from the session. In the middle of the road, I think. No, he's just retired manually. But this now really brings the fight for the podium between Albany and Flame. Flame to the inside. Can it be 2 consecutive podiums in a row? I will turn the game sound off for you guys quickly, because if that is the same as it is for me, that is horrendous. Here we go now. Flame. Is he going to be able to hold on against Albany? Let's have a look at the penalties between the pair. Albany is 5 seconds as well. So Flame just needs to pull out the gap to Allied Square to keep on to this podium. I say that! Allied Square's spun! On the exit of Stowe, is there going to be contact between anyone? No, just about. Ravi and Leon avoid him. But wow. Flames managed to stay ahead, and this could be a second podium in a row. Second last time out. Third this time out, maybe. Here in Silverstone. Didn't even do the sprint or qualifying. He's come into the race with no practice. Arrived late because he was busy earlier in the day. And Bacon Soda versus Plum. This is all starting to kick off as we're on lap 21 of 26. We've got 6 laps to go in this one, and it's certainly going to be eventful all the way to the line. Albany, I've just realised, not even on softs. So Flame has the upper hand at this moment in time. Heading through Woodcote on board with Albany. He's just not going to be close enough at the moment. Oh, that's Bacon Soda going wide. That could be costly at the end of this one. If that gets him a warning, Madman Chaz has left the session. We are up to a total of 7 retirements in this race. DRS open for Bacon Soda. This is what we want to see. A battle for the win on the final few laps of this Grand Prix. Is Plum going to be able to hold on here in Silverstone on his first race of the season, his debut in Hyper International Motorsport? Leon and Ravi going side by side into Stowe. Who's going to win out on this one? That's a terrible camera angle that we see, but Ravi cannot get by the McLaren, and Leon is in P6 still. on board with Flame, 1.8 behind. I think he is starting to try and make some inroads on this top 2. But will Bacon Soda, with 5 laps to go now, we're into the final 5 laps of this race. This is the deciding moments. Will Bacon Soda be conservative? He is the championship leader. He just needs to score points. But this win could be what he needs. Oh, Plum's gone wide. Bacon tried getting it down the inside. But just couldn't get a nose in enough for Luffield. Oh, he's had a huge slide as well. He's gone all over the grass. That's going to allow Flame to catch up a slight bit. And it's actually allowing Plum to get away through Copse Corner. Now they go. Will Bacon Soda be able to keep it in track limits this time? Yes, he is. 4 tenths between the pair. Plum does have more ERS in this one. But will Bacon Soda be able to make the move heading down the Hangar Straight? DRS wide open for Bacon Soda. It's him versus Plum here for the win. Neither of them have a penalty. Bacon Soda, will he get close enough through Stone? No. What about into the Vale Chicane? Is he going to try send us a lunge? No. Flame picks up another 3-second time penalty. That could be costly. He does have the gap to Stepping Pig and to Albany at the moment. But if those tyres drop off, Albany could inherit the podium here. So, Bacon Soda, 3 attempts behind Plum. He really needs to get this move done as we've got 4 laps to go in this race. A huge slide for Bacon Soda once again. He's really struggling with very grip. Hyper nearly slides off the circuit as well. That allows Bacon Soda to get a bit closer as they head down the Wellington Straight. Here we go. On board with the Alpine. Here he comes in the slipstream. But no, just too far back from Plum. He's just trying to save that ERS on the Haas in front of him. Just to get to about, 65% battery. And use that to then attack the Haas. Or is he just sitting behind till the final lap? But that could be very, very costly if he can't get the move done. Through Copse Corner once again. Look how fast that is through there with these cars these days. Oh, and Flame goes wide through Copse. That could lose him a lot of time against Albany. No, actually, it might have gained him a bit of time against Albany there. 3 attempts as the gap between Bacon Soda and Plum. DRS open for the Alpine. And again, just not going to be getting close enough down this straight. They're on equal ERS terms now. Plum burnt some down that straight. But Bacon Soda just not getting close enough due to Plum burning that tiny bit of battery down the Hangar Straight. As now Ravi's going to get past Leon down the inside into so there's a bit of contact made. Leon's been able to get the switch back. They're going side by side into the Vale Chicane. There's a bit of contact between the pair. Leon holds it round the outside. Will he give it up past Ravi? Ravi going to try hold it to the outside this time. Through the Vale Chicane, through Club as well. But Leon on the inside line manages to get ahead of the Alfa Romeo and stay in P6 in this one. They're really starting to kick off these two. As here comes Ravi down the inside once more. It's going to get past Leon. Leon goes defensive. He goes wide into the loop. This is where he needs to park it on the apex. And he does. And Ravi not being able to get past once again. But this time he will be able to get by with the DRS. He's gone to the inside. Leon squeezes to try force his opponent onto the grass. But no. He's gone deep though as Ravi. That has really compromised his line into Luffield. If Leon's able to get a switch back of some sorts, he has. There's a bit of contact made between the pair. Front wing to diffuser. But no, Leon can't get the traction. And Ravi just stays ahead of the McLaren. But will he try and move into Copse? No, just lets off and sits behind the Alfa Romeo once more. But maybe into Maggots and Beckett's there might be a little look from him, but no. Once again, just sitting behind. We're about to go on 2 laps of this race remaining. It's between Bacon Soda and Plum. Bacon Soda now has the upper hand on Plum in battery. It's going to come all down to these final 2 laps at Silverstone. Here we go, everybody. Strap yourselves in. It's going to be an entertaining one here. Leon and Ravi have made contact. They both spin and both into the wall. Disaster for McLaren. As both drivers have been sent out of this race and probably out of the points. And now Haas might have a chance of taking the championship lead here in the constructors' standings. But will Bacon Soda stop that? No. Haas will take the lead in the constructors' standings. as it stands if Plum gets either first or second. So, on board with the Alpine. I mean, Leon's got no front wing, I think. So, yeah, he's definitely going to fall behind Ravi. And I think he's also going to fall behind C as well. But we do have 2 laps to go. So, actually, Leon might be able to hold on here. It's going to be close. I need to do my maths after this race. But the main question is, who's going to win? Bacon Soda or Plum? Bacon Soda that just needs to hold on for one more lap. It may be tempting. He may want to go for the move, but he just can't go for it. He's going to have to wait another lap as we're about to start the final lap of this Grand Prix through Vale and Club. As we're about to cross the line, the final lap begins now, and the hunt begins for Bacon Soda. This is where he can win it. Will he be able to make the move? It's going to be between the choices of when does he go for it. Does he go for it down the Wellington Straight, compromise himself for the Hangar Straight? Or will he go for it at the Hangar Straight, leave it to the last possible opportunity he can? On board with the Alpine now as they head through Aintree and now down the Wellington Straight for the final time in this Grand Prix. He's used a bit of battery to get closer to the Haas once more. He's got to sit behind him into Brooklands. Oh, this is super, super tense between the pair. If one of them makes a mistake, it is game over for either of them. Plum gets a very nice exit out of Luffield for the final time. Through Woodcote, battery being used by Bacon Soda. Plum really needs to think about a good exit out of Beckett's. He might have to compromise his line on the entry, but as long as he gets a good slingshot out of there, he might be in for a win. Now, through Beckett's, a very nice exit that is for Plum, but Bacon Soda will be using everything he's got. Will the Haas start flashing? Yes, he does. 10% left on the battery. Bacon Soda to the outside. He's going to need a good run out of Stowe. Is he going to be able to get it done? He's going to have to try go run the outside through the Vale chicane. Bacon Soda to the outside. He holds it. Plum on the outside now through the Vale chicane. He holds on. Plum holds on to win the Silverstone Grand Prix. The British Grand Prix is Plum's by 1/10 of a second here in Hyper International Motorsport. Flame manages to pick up P3 at the line. That's 2 podiums in a row for Flame. Bacon Soda holds on to his championship lead, but that win was agonisingly close to make it 2 wins from 3 races. Wow. Plum played these cards perfectly and managed to hold on there. What a drive from IRT Plum to manage to bring that home in such a tough position. Bacon Soda tried everything he could, but it just wasn't enough in this race. And he ends up finishing in 2nd place. An improvement from last time out, but still wants that win and is hunting for a 2nd win of the season. That's 3 different winners in the first 3 races of the season. We had Bacon Soda at China, Macca in Australia, and now we have IRT Plum here in Silverstone. And that is a brilliant day of racing ended off. So, your order for the race, we will not look at the order overall. It's 33 points for Plum, and actually a win for Bacon Soda, technically, if you look at it on the points tally. Let's move over to the race results. So, IRT Plum is your race winner, followed by Bacon Soda in 2nd place. XPG Flame, from last on the grid, even picks up the fastest lap of the race and finishes in 3rd place. MSC Albini, 4th. Stepping Pig in 5th. He manages to do a good comeback drive, actually, from where he was originally. Huward in 6th. Ravi in 7th. Leon did hold on to 8th. 9th is Allied Squire. 10th is C. 11th is Macca. Moosey in 12th, sorry. Madman Chaza didn't finish. Double Deck didn't finish. Well, these are your DNF, should I say. Oscu, Sniper, Ethan, Hyper, and Epic. Epic, of course, retiring before he even got off the line. And that is the end of the race. I got spun out into last, but still got back. Yeah, Stepping Pig with 2 very good drives there. It's going to be tough to choose my driver of the day. I'm gonna have to give it to 3 drivers: Plum, Pig, and Flame. So Plum, Pig, and Flame are my 3 drivers of the day. Plum, of course, winning the race, lights the flag pretty much. He did have to sit behind for a few laps on Bacon Soda. Stepping Pig for 2 brilliant comeback drives in both the sprint and the main race. And Flame, not even qualifying. Or even sprint in the sprint race. He had no practice really at all before the main race. Still managed to end up P3, so a brilliant drive from him as well. But I think that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. I'll quickly do the maths for you on the constructors' standings. I didn't actually see how many points Leon got. I think he only got the 4 for 8th place. So 33 points to 4. Actually, I don't even need the maths. Hasse leading the Constructors' Championship now, everybody. Bacon Soda continues leading. This is also, 3 steward decisions. I'll let you know if anything changes next race. There probably will be a few changes because that was carnage. I reckon Plum and Bacon Soda are flying. Flame may be fine as well. I don't think he got into too many accidents as well. So, yeah, I think that is going to be it, everybody. Thank you for watching Hyper International Motorsports British Grand Prix. Make sure to follow the Twitch. We also have a TikTok, and I think we have a YouTube as well, so make sure to follow us on there too. And also, finally, I've been Steve F1, your commentator. Also, drop me your follow. I know it's a shameless plug. I'll do it every stream, but also drop me a follow on Twitter at MaxRing18 or Steve F1 on there. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching this one. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you next week for Baku, and goodbye.